Welcome to Fut-Afrique channel. Once again, it is a great edition. I'm looking forward to that because we are celebrating. I know South Africa lost in cricket.
No, but you talk like it's an expectation that we were going to win.
But we won the Rugby World Cup.
But rugby is a given. You see, there's 4 trophies. How many trophies does cricket won, Chris?
We lost in cricket. We lost against Australia, who just won. Can you hear my voice went down?
There's a reason why certain names come. You know, when you have names like chokers, it's because you have a proven track record of doing something. That's why.
Anyway, let's celebrate. We celebrate because we are among the champions. Yes! Mamelodi Sundowns women are African champions once again. Well, the discussion is, will they have the second star? Or why, for the first time, why don't we put 2 stars in Mamelodi Sundowns as a club? And the boys are getting it from the ladies.
And I think that's a conversation that should be had because the ladies represented the club.
Yes.
So the club is the one that won the star.
Yes.
So, and it's a continental star.
Yes.
Is it lesser star if it's ladies or is it more of a star when it's men?
Okay, let's look at the camera. I know very soon you will have a conversation in your space. And the question is asked to you. Should Mamelodi Sundowns have 2 stars in their jersey as a football club? I think they do have that right?
No, they do. And I think because of what the ladies have done, to honor them is because now it means the redesigning of the club emblem. Mm-hmm. Because now you've got 2 stars.
Yes.
You've won. It's a nice story to tell to say the ladies have won 2. But
no.
Oh no, but then it should be 3.
Mamelodi Sundowns has won
it 3 times.
No.
Yes, 3 times.
No, you don't go.
No, because the men won it once, the ladies won it twice, so it should be 3 stars.
I remember when Mamelodi Sundowns women, they went to play the final, the first final.
Yes.
Their jersey has 1 star before winning it.
Yes. And it was from the gents. And
when they won it, we did not have 2 stars.
So we must have that conversation and say we are equal.
We received a question. Actually, the question is for you. They were showing me earlier on from the production. Now that Mamelodi Sundowns has won this trophy multiple times, should the Confederation of Africa give them the right to put 2 stars? How does it work?
So the right, yes, they would have because they've won the competition. But whether the club decides to put it, that's totally up to them. Because it's a symbol of what you want to be able to do. You want to be able to tell a story. Because what you look at Al Ahly, they want to tell you the story of them having won the Champions League. You look at the likes of AC Milan, you look at the likes of Bayern, everybody, and it's because you want to tell a story of prestige. You want to tell a story of a club that's doing well. Because then you say, this one was won here. You look at Real Madrid. How many stars would they have on their emblem? Because so they've chosen this is the route that we're taking. We're not going to
put stars.
So it
is not a mandatory from a confederation, or association, or a league, but it is a club's decision
to be able to say, do we redesign?
It's almost a branding.
It's a branding exercise. So, but in this case, as a Sundown supporter, we must put 2 more stars because the ladies won. Maybe by the end of this Champions League season.
When I have you here, I will announce to the people if I've got you here as a Sundown supporter. I do have you here as an African football expert, not as a Sundown supporter. So please just distinguish. Talking of African football,
yes,
there is a question that I wanted to ask you earlier on. What it takes for you to run an association or a confederation like CAF?
Look, CAF is a monster of an organization. What CAF was 10 years ago is different to what CAF was 20 years ago. It's different to what CAF was 30 years ago because just like we'd always use terms like football evolves and all those, administratively the organization has evolved. From having 3 members, you've moved to now where you're having 55 members. It's now a political hot potato that you've got to be able to say, geopolitically, the North Africans have got certain needs that they expect. The SADC region have got everybody's got different needs and different wants, but how do you bring them together?
So we should not expect the old leadership of CAF and Hamed or Issa Ahetu to The Patrice Motsepe one, because the Patrice Motsepe one is the latest one we do have.
This is very complex, because you've also got to be able to say, while you are dealing with continental issues, what footprint do you want CAF to have globally? When they arrive at Zurich at an AGM of FIFA, who is this CAF? Are you just a member that everybody can, or are you an organization that when you put, because let me give you a classic example. When you look at awards like Ballon d'Or, you look at awards, yes, now it's been divided into the French side and there's the FIFA one. Can we honestly say that the CAF Confederation, CAF Champions League, all those, do those players matter there?
No.
Are we seen there?
No.
Because Mohamed Salah should have walked away with it.
Few times.
Sadio Mane should have walked with it.
Few times.
And then you have somebody who has one good tournament and is able to then walk. So those are the things that you're saying. How does FIFA see you? How are you seen on the continent? Because if you look at the North African one, they've got different mandates.
But do you think the world starts seeing CAF now?
Oh no, the world is starting to see CAF.
Why?
Here's a couple of things that will tell you that the world is starting to see CAF. When you've got CAF games that are now being broadcast in Europe, when you've got CAF games that are now being broadcast in the Americas. So all those things are telling you that CAF is starting to be seen. CAF has got a voice. CAF as an organization is running well, because gone are the days when you needed one person to be able to be running CAF. You now have an organization that is running, headed by somebody who's saying, I've got competent people that are here. If people are talking broadcasting, I mean, we've just had a whole legal issue that was with Bain as the broadcasting partner that had not paid CAF in how long?
Now they have paid.
Now they've paid because somebody at the top understands that for the continent to be able to benefit, we need to be able to get revenue to those things.
You run an organization, you still do run organizations, and people don't know you. You run one of the biggest organizations, which is the cricket in South Africa, which is a top sport in South Africa, and you run the whole organization.
No, not me, but I'm part of it.
You are part of it. What makes a good leader? Let's put Patrice Motsepe.
Yes.
What makes him stand out?
And I think what he's done, he's brought what he's done in corporate, he's now brought it into running of football. Because what you've got is that if you look at each and every division in business, if you're looking at what he's able to do, there'd be somebody who handles broadcasting at CAF. It doesn't mean he needs to sit in every single meeting that happens. He doesn't need to sit in organization committee of a tournament. He doesn't need to sit in broadcasting. So now what he's done is surrounded himself with people who are competent in the industries that they are there. And all he's doing is cheering them and being able to give them, this is the plan of where we go and this is how you want to be. And that's what a leader does.
He gives them a vision.
He gives them a vision, delegates
and allow them to perform.
And allow them to perform. And that is what you need in leadership. And he's now able to then go and say, while you're running this continental big animal, I need to now go, how does FIFA see us? Let's build those relationships so at FIFA when we speak, we are heard.
By the way, it seems like FIFA's second office is in Africa because...
but remember, and what you've got, FIFA has always worked very well with Europe.
Yes.
But now we've got...
The dynamic has changed.
When you excel, people want to be around people who excel. When you excel and you have a vision that you... Because for you to be able to excel means that there's a vision.
Yeah.
And that vision, I mean, now we've just watched the AFL. Can we say there was anything bad about the production? It was a well-run tournament.
It was beautiful.
We've just watched the Women's Champions League.
It was beautiful.
We now going to the Champions League. We expect that there is organization.
Sure.
And then you're going to, again in January, we're going back to Cote d'Ivoire. We expect, because CAF has done so well in these things, you now expect excellence from CAF.
You know, listening to you speaking, I've got the feeling of you saying Dr. Motsepe should run for a second term.
Definitely.
Is that what you're saying?
Definitely, because there's confidence that he's given the business world. If you're looking at sponsors,
are you saying it from an administrator or you're saying it from a football fan?
Both.
Both.
Because as a football fan, when you go to stadium and you watch a product, I mean, let's go back to CAF competitions which you've had. You've had issues of the FA has not paid the players, the organization of hotels is not right, the flights are not right. those things are becoming non-issues because you know a tournament is well organized. You know the country is ready to receive you. And there's been conversations that happened between the country and CAF and the empowerment of that country while you're hosting, because part of hosting is that you want to be able to improve your infrastructure. Look at Morocco.
Yeah.
What they've done, what they've built by virtue of hosting CAF tournaments, it has put them on a different, from a political perspective, that's why everybody wants CAF to come to them to be able to.
I wanted to say something, you just say Morocco. You know, I am a student of politics. When you're president of a country, regardless of what happened, including the situation of the COVID, they blame it on the president. The economy is bad because of the president. Because we were president during COVID.
Yes, yeah.
It was during Dr. Motsepe that we saw an African team nearly made to the final of the World Cup. So you should take credit.
No, and you've got to be able to do that. As a leader, that's a vision that you've because now you are saying the teams that are coming from the continent, one, we have to represent the continent well. Is the continent doing well? You've got to be able to say, you're looking at sponsors that are coming. For the first time, AFL has got different sponsors to Champions League sponsors. Champions League sponsors are not necessarily your AFCON sponsors. It means that corporate is saying, we like what you're doing. No, we like what you're doing, and based on what we like, we would like to associate our brand with you. And not only that, the members of CAF are saying, we are now becoming better financially. We are in a position where we can develop football in our country because the pockets are becoming larger to be able to distribute.
Would you say we need the same caliber of leaders like the CAF president, the current CAF president, to all our football associations? Or we need former footballers to come and then run football association? What do we
So
need?
what you've got is that if you're a former footballer and you want to go into administration like your Samuel Eto'o has done, what are you bringing to the table? I mean, we had this conversation with somebody who said, Lucas Radebe wants to run for SAFA president. And I said, what does Lucas bring to the table? But Lucas can't come alone. He needs to bring a team of people that are experts at what they do. Because the biggest generator of revenue in sports is what? TV rights.
Television.
If you don't know how to explain TV
Do you have to understand football and understand business for you to run those organizations? What do you need?
Look, if you are good at football, make sure that your business
good at
people.
other stuff.
If you're good at business, like Dr. Motsepe is, he's an astute businessman. He's astute
Must
in what he
understand
does.
football as well.
But the people that he surrounds himself with understand football and will be able to implement those. The people that he puts in broadcasting are the people that are good at what they do. So as a leader, know your strength so that you can be able to surround yourself with a good team in terms of that.
I was speaking with Paul about African football leadership, and he said it straight. Dr. Motsepe should run for a second term. That could be good, or that would be good for the African football. It would be maybe great to see an African team playing the final of the World Cup I don't know where the final will be, in America or Mexico or in Canada.
Look, I did.
Where the final will be.
That I don't know. I just know it's a joint venture.
I know, Mexico, Canada, and the United States. So we don't know where the final or the opening ceremony will be, but we would like to see an African or two teams.
Look, for me,
fighting.
For me, I'd like to see two African teams in the semifinals. Because then that increases your chances.
The chances of winning. So that is part one. And in part two, we'll talk about South Africa playing the first and the second game of the World Cup qualifier. We'll talk about Mamelodi Sundowns being the champions for Africa for the second time. And they're champion of COSAFA as well. And they are waiting for the Hollywood Bet Super League. Maybe they're going to get a triple once again. But what happened to Mamelodi Sundowns male? If they don't win CAF Champions League, can we say they had a good season? Mpo is going to answer those questions in the next episodes.